In this tutorial, we're going to talk about how we can find the intersection of two graphs. So say in your y equals, we have two equations already put in, and we want to find where these two equations, in terms of the graph, will intersect. So let's first take a look at the graph. So we see here that there's one point of intersection. We need to find that point of intersection. Now to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to hit second and trace to bring up the calculate menu. Now you can see here that there is one that says intersect, and that's what we want to scroll down to. We'll hit enter. And now the calculator is going to ask you for the first curve and the second curve, and then guess. What this is doing is you can have multiple graphs, more than just two graphs, that are on this graph. And so it's asking you, which two graphs do you want me to find the intersections of? So the first one is on the blue graph right now, so I'll go ahead and hit enter. And then now it's on the red one. You'll notice that everything changed to red. And that is the second curve that I'm going to use, so I'm going to hit enter again. And now it says guess. So I hit enter one more time, and it tells me that the intersection here is at -1, -4. All right, now say you had two equations, and when you graphed them, you found that there was more than one point of intersection. Then what? So let's take a look at this graph. All right, so we see very clearly that there are at least 2 points of intersection that we can see here, and we want to be able to calculate both. Now the process is the same, so we're going to hit second, trace, to bring up the calculate menu, and then we're going to scroll down to intersect, and now it's going to ask you for the first curve and the second curve. Again, you only have two here, but it's asking because you can have multiple graphs on here. So I'm going to hit enter, enter, and now if I hit enter one more time, it's going to give me the intersection that is closest to where I hit enter when it asked about the first and the second curves. Okay, so that means that the intersection point is at -1.6, -3.97 down here, and we still want to find the intersection point that is further up in the graph. So we'll go through the same process. So I'll hit second, trace, scroll down to intersect, and then now when it's asking for the first curve, I'm going to move my cursor so that it's actually closer to the other intersection point I want to find. Hit enter, and I'm going to move this one up as well. Hit enter, and I'm going to hit enter one more time. And that is going to give us that second intersection point. So it looks like that's at around 1.895, 8.988 or so. So that's how you would find if you have multiple intersection points. You just want to make sure when it's asking you for the first curve or second curve that you are giving the points that are closest to the intersection point that you are trying to find.